We're about to get ready to go live. Are you ready? Do you have your question asked? Did you ask your question below in the chat? Are you ready? Did you share this? Did you share this on your Facebook? Did you share this in a private group? Did you share this on Instagram? Are you ready? Are you ready to be a participator, not just a spectator? Hey, social media socialites. Look, we are about to go live in a few moments. But before we go live, I need all of you guys to hit that like button right now. If you're watching and you're waiting, go ahead and be a participator. Don't just be a spectator. Hit that like button and share this. Share this on your Facebook. Share this in a private Facebook group. I want you to tag a friend. I want you to text this in a group chat. If you are watching this and you have Instagram, do a screenshot and add me on Instagram at E.DeanCole. Make sure that you add me so that I can see the support, and show the love. All right, guys, we're about to go live in a few moments, so get ready, okay? Ask your questions below. After you ask your questions, make sure that you share this. Share this on Facebook. Share this in a group chat. Share this right now with your baby daddy, with your baby mama. Share this with your wife. Share this with somebody who you know that wants to know how to build their business credit. Share this with somebody who wants to know how they can better their lives through entrepreneurship. This channel is dedicated to economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. Share this to anybody who is interested in going and growing their business. Share this with them right now. All right, guys, we're about to get ready to go live. Are you ready? Do you have your question asked? Did you ask your question below in the chat? Are you ready? Did you share this? Did you share this on your Facebook? Did you share this in a private group? Did you share this on Instagram? Are you ready? Are you ready to be a participator, not just a spectator? Hey, social media socialites. Look, we are about to go live in a few moments. But before we go live, I need all of you guys to hit that like button right now. If you're watching and you're waiting, go ahead and be a participator. Don't just be a spectator. Hit that like button and share this. Share this on your Facebook. Share this in a private Facebook group. I want you to tag a friend. I want you to text this in a group chat. If you are watching this and you have Instagram, do a screenshot and add me on Instagram at E.DeanCole. Make sure that you add me so that I can see the support, and show the love. All right, guys, we're about to go live in a few moments, so get ready, okay? Ask your questions below. After you ask your questions, make sure that you share this. Share this on Facebook. Share this in a group chat. Share this right now with your baby daddy, with your baby mama. Share this with your wife. Share this with somebody who you know that wants to know how to build their business credit. Share this with somebody who wants to know how they can better their lives through entrepreneurship. This channel is dedicated to economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. Share this to anybody who is interested in going and growing their business. Share this with them right now. All right, guys, we're about to get ready to go live. Are you ready? Do you have your question asked? Did you ask your question below in the chat? Are you ready? Did you share this? Did you share this on your Facebook? Did you share this in a private group? Did you share this on Instagram? Are you ready? Are you ready to be a participator, not just a spectator? Hey, social media socialites. Look, we are about to go live in a few moments. But before we go live, I need all of you guys to hit that like button right now. If you're watching and you're waiting, go ahead and be a participator. Don't just be a spectator. Hit that like button and share this. Share this on your Facebook. Share this in a private Facebook group. I want you to tag a friend. I want you to text this in a group chat. If you are watching this and you have Instagram, do a screenshot and add me on Instagram at E.DeanCole. Make sure that you add me so that I can see the support, and show the love. All right, guys, we're about to go live in a few moments, so get ready, okay? Ask your questions below. After you ask your questions, make sure that you share this. Share this on Facebook. Share this in a group chat. Share this right now with your baby daddy, with your baby mama. Share this with your wife. Share this with somebody who you know that wants to know how to build their business credit. Share this with somebody who wants to know how they can better their lives through entrepreneurship. This channel is dedicated to economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. Share this to anybody who is interested in going and growing their business. Share this with them right now. All right, guys, we're about to get ready to go live. Are you ready? Do you have your question asked? Did you ask your question below in the chat? Are you ready? Did you share this? Did you share this on your Facebook? Did you share this in a private group? Did you share this on Instagram? Are you ready? Are you ready to be a participator, not just a spectator? Hey, social media socialites. Look, we are about to go live in a few moments. But before we go live, I need all of you guys to hit that like button right now. If you're watching and you're waiting, go ahead and be a participator. Don't just be a spectator. Hit that like button and share this. Share this on your Facebook. Share this in a private Facebook group. I want you to tag a friend. I want you to text this in a group chat. If you are watching this and you have Instagram, do a screenshot and add me on Instagram at E.DeanCole. Make sure that you add me so that I can see the support, and show the love. All right, guys, we're about to go live in a few moments, so get ready, okay? Ask your questions below. After you ask your questions, make sure that you share this. Share this on Facebook. Share this in a group chat. Share this right now with your baby daddy, with your baby mama. Share this with your wife. Share this with somebody who you know that wants to know how to build their business credit. Share this with somebody who wants to know how they can better their lives through entrepreneurship. This channel is dedicated to economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. Share this to anybody who is interested in going and growing their business. Share this with them right now. All right, guys, we're about to get ready to go live. Are you ready? Do you have your question asked? Did you ask your question below in the chat? Are you ready? Did you share this? Did you share this on your Facebook? Did you share this in a private group? Did you share this on Instagram? Are you ready? Are you ready to be a participator, not just a spectator? Hey, social media socialites. Look, we are about to go live in a few moments. But before we go live, I need all of you guys to hit that like button right now. If you're watching and you're waiting, go ahead and be a participator. Don't just be a spectator. Hit that like button and share this. Share this on your Facebook. Share this in a private Facebook group. I want you to tag a friend. I want you to text this in a group chat. If you are watching this and you have Instagram, do a screenshot and add me on Instagram at E.DeanCole. Make sure that you add me so that I can see the support, and show the love. All right, guys, we're about to go live in a few moments, so get ready, okay? Ask your questions below. After you ask your questions, make sure that you share this. Share this on Facebook. Share this in a group chat. Share this right now with your baby daddy, with your baby mama. Share this with your wife. Share this with somebody who you know that wants to know how to build their business credit. Share this with somebody who wants to know how they can better their lives through entrepreneurship. This channel is dedicated to economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. Share this to anybody who is interested in going and growing their business. Share this with them right now. All right, guys, we're about to get ready to go live. Are you ready? Do you have your question asked? Did you ask your question below in the chat? Are you ready? Did you share this? Did you share this on your Facebook? Did you share this in a private group? Did you share this on Instagram? Are you ready? Are you ready to be a participator, not just a spectator? Hey, social media socialites. Look, we are about to go live in a few moments. But before we go live, I need all of you guys to hit that like button right now. If you're watching and you're waiting, go ahead and be a participator. Don't just be a spectator. Hit that like button and share this. Share this on your Facebook. Share this in a private Facebook group. I want you to tag a friend. I want you to text this in a group chat. If you are watching this and you have Instagram, do a screenshot and add me on Instagram at E.DeanCole. Make sure that you add me so that I can see the support, and show the love. All right, guys, we're about to go live in a few moments, so get ready, okay? Ask your questions below. After you ask your questions, make sure that you share this. Share this on Facebook. Share this in a group chat. Share this right now with your baby daddy, with your baby mama. Share this with your wife. Share this with somebody who you know that wants to know how to build their business credit. Share this with somebody who wants to know how they can better their lives through entrepreneurship. This channel is dedicated to economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. Share this to anybody who is interested in going and growing their business. Share this with them right now. All right, guys, we're about to get ready to go live. Are you ready? Do you have your question asked? Did you ask your question below in the chat? Are you ready? Did you share this? Did you share this on your Facebook? Did you share this in a private group? Did you share this on Instagram? Are you ready? Are you ready to be a participator, not just a spectator? Hey, social media socialites. Look, we are about to go live in a few moments. But before we go live, I need all of you guys to hit that like button right now. If you're watching and you're waiting, go ahead and be a participator. Don't just be a spectator. Hit that like button and share this. Share this on your Facebook. Share this in a private Facebook group. I want you to tag a friend. I want you to text this in a group chat. If you are watching this and you have Instagram, do a screenshot and add me on Instagram at E.DeanCole. Make sure that you add me so that I can see the support, and show the love. All right, guys, we're about to go live in a few moments, so get ready, okay? Ask your questions below. After you ask your questions, make sure that you share this. Share this on Facebook. Share this in a group chat. Share this right now with your baby daddy, with your baby mama. Share this with your wife. Share this with somebody who you know that wants to know how to build their business credit. Share this with somebody who wants to know how they can better their lives through entrepreneurship. This channel is dedicated to economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. Share this to anybody who is interested in going and growing their business. Share this with them right now. All right, guys, we're about to get ready to go live. Are you ready? Do you have your question asked? Did you ask your question below in the chat? Are you ready? Did you share this? Did you share this on your Facebook? Did you share this in a private group? Did you share this on Instagram? Are you ready? Are you ready to be a participator, not just a spectator? Hey, social media socialites. Look, we are about to go live in a few moments. But before we go live, I need all of you guys to hit that like button right now. If you're watching and you're waiting, go ahead and be a participator. Don't just be a spectator. Hit that like button and share this. Share this on your Facebook. Share this in a private Facebook group. I want you to tag a friend. I want you to text this. Text this in a group chat. If you are watching this and you have Instagram, do a screenshot and add me on Instagram at E.DeanCole. Make sure that you add me so that I can see the support, and show the love. All right, guys, we're about to go live in a few moments, so get ready, okay? Ask your questions below. After you ask your questions, you can hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Want to make sure that you guys can hear me okay. Make sure we're good to go. If you are watching this for the first time and you don't know who I am, my name is E.DeanCole and I own E.DeanCole Financial. We are a consulting firm and we specialize in working capital, alternative finance, and business credit development. That's who I am. That's what I do. And bear with me for one moment, guys. I'm getting my sound together. We're having some issues, but we're good to go. Let me check to see how we're looking. Let's see how we're looking. Let me hear how I sound and let's see how we're looking. We're playing with a new device so far, so let's see how we sound and let's see how we're looking. Bear with me for one moment, guys. We're gonna see. Okay. Sound pretty good. Sounds good? Okay, that's good stuff. We sound pretty good. So let's go ahead and do a temperature check. So, like I said, if you're watching this for the first time, somebody shared this with you. My name is E.DeanCole. I am a CEO. Tonight's video, we're not talking about anything really business related, but I am a best-selling author. I am a business coach and life coach. And this channel is dedicated to economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. However, I am a Black man that is a CEO. So there are times where I have a playlist that's called Conscious Commentary, and this is going to be a part of my Conscious Commentary. So if you have any questions about business related matters, please do not ask business related questions today. No business questions today. We're having a Bible study. Yes, like the title of the video says, we're talking about how can I call myself a Black woke Christian? How can I call myself a Christian who's woke? So if you're not following me, make sure you follow me on Instagram. I did a post on Instagram earlier saying that I was going to go live on O'Shea Duke Jackson's channel. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and change that link up. And guys, this is live, okay? So this is live. I am going to get your comments up on the screen in a moment. I'm gonna allow people to get in here, but I need to go back and change my Instagram real quick. Boom, 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 boom. What am I doing? Edit profile. YouTube. YouTube.com/money making motivation. Thank you guys so much for your patience, guys. I really appreciate you so much. I'm going to get into it, and I'm not going to be very long. I'm hungry, but I did want to give an opportunity to teach. I was on O'Shea Jackson's Sunday Rumble. His Sunday Rumble is dedicated to bringing together some of the top Black YouTubers, and I'm excited to be a part of that group, you know, to be considered a top Black YouTuber. And we talk about different issues that are going on in the African American community. And the issue that we were talking about today was how Africans and African Americans and how they're able to coexist. If you saw that, if you were on that live and you saw that, I want you to say was there, 2 words, because we just finished broadcasting. So if you saw that live and you was there, I want you to say was there. If you didn't see it, I want you to say didn't see it, 3 words. Now this is interactive. So if you're watching this for the first time and you're new to this, this is a live lecture, okay? It's unlike anything you've ever seen before. And if you're watching on the replay, you saw the thumbnail, you saw that it was live. However long we go tonight, I don't know. It's not gonna be too long, but you saw how long it was. So stop whining and complaining. And you say, hurry up and get to the point. The entire video is the point. This is a live lecture. So make sure I update this. So I'm going to bring your comments up on the screen. Let me go ahead and just bring your comments up on the screen. So if you saw it, and if you were there and you saw it, I want you to say, saw it. Why is my transition taking such a long time? This thing going. So if you was there, I want you to say was there. Okay, so Miss Tawana was there. Thank you so much, Miss Tawana. Miss Tawana was there. All right. Let's see. A lot of people saying they didn't see it. All right. Somebody said didn't see it. Gonna watch the replay. All right. Miss Jones said that. Give me one moment, guys. I'm trying to multitask right now. I'm about to jump live in 1 moment. Give me a second, guys. I'm about to get in it in 1 second. Multitasking. Okay. So in the panel, it was Dr. Mumbi, who is a African scholar. There was a lot of different African American YouTubers that are just some of the prominent YouTubers. And so I am mixed. Well, it's kind of weird saying you're mixed, but I'm half African. Culturally, my family is West African. Saloon, I just say Saloons. That's Sierra Leonean, from Sierra Leone. And I have family that's Nigerian, Igbo to be specific. And so I was talking about the standpoint of being like a killmonger. So if you guys saw the movie Black Panther, and we're going to do a temperature check, like I said, this is interactive. So if you clicked on the video because of my handsome face, and you clicked on the video because of the thumbnail or the title, this is interactive, okay? So you probably came to be entertained, but you're going to leave educated and empowered. So I'm going to need you guys to participate. Even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to participate with me as if you're watching me live, okay? So if you saw the movie Black Panther, I want you to say, saw it. If you didn't see the movie Black Panther, I want you to say didn't see, because not everybody saw the movie. It was a huge phenomenon. It was great for the culture. It was phenomenal. But I saw it 5 times, but a lot of people did not see it. So if you didn't see it, I want you to say didn't see. So let me check a little bit more. Let's see how we looking. But I saw it. Sounds good. Times, but a lot of people did not see it. So let me make sure my sound is good. Let me check something real quick. Oh, you know what? Let me change this up to that. Okay, let me see. Change that up. All right, so let me hit this transition one more time. And let's see. Does this sound even better? Let me see. Transition one more time. Yeah, that sounds better.
Does this sound even better?
Yeah, does that sound better?
Let me see.
Yep, I changed my mic. Sound better. Boom, so much better.
Does this sound even better? Yeah.
Okay.
Does that sound better?
Peace, brother. Who's the Information Man is in the building. Information Man show. How you doing today, my man? Information Man, if you want to, I'm not doing Google Live, but I wish I could. If I was doing a Google Hangout, then I could bring you on with me, Information Man. So Information Man was actually one of the panelists. Information Man, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, I want you to look in the comments right now. It is Information Man show. He is a phenomenal orator. He is a passionate activist. Follow him on YouTube. Go and look right now. It's Information Man show. He's also one of the prominent black YouTubers that were on the panel, and I agree with a lot of what Information Man said. There's some things that I didn't agree with, and that's okay. He's still a phenomenal asset to the community. So I want you guys to go and support him, even if you're watching this on the replay. As a matter of fact, if you're watching this on the replay, I'm going to pin a post, and at the top of that post, I want you to go follow Information Man. He is a phenomenal YouTuber. I do want to collaborate with him on a one-on-one basis, okay? So Information Man was there. And so, all right, so we have a total of 61 people watching live. Let's go ahead and get those thumbs up to match. So let's see who was all in the building who saw it. So Information Man was there. He saw it. Thank you so much for that. You sub to Information Man. Alex Express, awesome. Good stuff for that. Good stuff. All right, Charla Hammond, she saw it. Thank you so much for that. Let's see who else saw it. All right, Brian King was there. Brian King, he saw it. Thank you so much for that. You guys saying that you guys saw the movie. You guys saw it. Okay. All right. All right. So Jaquez said that he saw it. Okay, good stuff. So a lot of you guys saw the movie. Okay, good stuff. A lot of you guys saw the movie. Now, there's T'Challa was actually supposed to be the star of the show, but in actuality, Killmonger, he ended up stealing the shine. And a lot of people identified with Killmonger because he was like myself. He was mixed. His father was from Wakanda, Africa. His mother was a black chick from the hood, just like myself. And so I did an entire recap of the movie. I'm not going to get into that in grave detail, but so that's the standpoint that I was talking about. Now, on the panel, we had like 1,100 people watching live, and one thing that I've discovered about going into this other YouTube sphere of the conscious or the woke community is that just to be 100% honest, and you can let me know if you agree. I want you to say I agree. If you don't agree, I want you to say don't agree. Like I said, you guys are my co-host. You guys determine how the show goes. This is interactive. So I noticed one of the things that I've discovered going into the conscious community and being more active as a speaker in the black community, the black YouTube community. So many people have a victim mentality. Not all, but a lot of them have the idea that, it's hard to be successful, or they have the idea that it is, white supremacy is a real thing, but the white supremacy is stopping them from being successful. Or a lot of them have the mindset or the idea that they talk about all the problems and they're great when it comes to articulating the problem, but I believe that they're not great when it comes to executing the solution. I've discovered that there's not a lot of people in the conscious community or in the African-American YouTube community that really talk about solutions. I know that that's the thing that I'm bringing to the table, is because I'm extremely solution-based. And that's what I'm going to get into to the topic. The topic is, how can I call myself a woke Christian? We're going to do a Bible study, and we're going to talk about Christianity in Africa way before a colonizer ever stepped foot on Africa. And the reason why I say that is because in the comments, a lot of people were saying things like, oh, he's a Mason, or oh, he's talking black, or he sounds pro-black, but he's talking about the white man religion, or he's talking about, Christianity, and they have absolutely no idea. I discover is that my people perish for lack of knowledge. As an orator and as a speaker and as a life coach, I'm always quoting some of my favorite books. And my number one favorite book of all time that has helped me to be as successful as I am is the Bible. And I was using points, and a lot of them were saying things like, oh, were you saying that because I'm African or I'm Nigerian or what? No, I'm saying it because I'm a man of God. And I didn't get a chance to really address that a lot. And I'm going to talk about it now. And one thing is, I want you to participate with me. I want you to interact with me. I could do a call-in show. Okay, let's do this. All right, let's do this. If we can get, I'll open up the phone lines and let you guys call in. All right, we have 61 people watching. If we get to 100 likes on this within the next 10 minutes, I'll open up the phone lines. Because if I open up the phone lines, we're gonna go for a minute. I'm kind of tired. I ordered some food, but I do want to teach for a moment. But so let's go ahead and talk about this. So let's see. Information Man says, E.DeanCole is a good brother. I appreciate you for that, Information Man. All right. I will have to get you on your show. Absolutely, Information Man. Let's link up. I think we have each other's Google Hangout from that group chat that went out. Message me on that, and we can get together on the show and build. I really, really love your energy. I really do. All right, so let's do a temperature check. Let's see. Let's look at some of these comments, okay? All right. So the question that I ask is, somebody said they're drinking and listening. All right, let's talk about it. It says, let's look at this. All right, so book B. Rock the Great, Brock B. Rock the Great Wilson. And it says it just like that. It says that you agree. So you're saying that you agree with me that a lot of people in the conscious community or the black YouTube community, they talk about a lot of the issues, but they don't talk about a lot of solutions. You say you agree. All right. Jackie says that you agree. All right. D. Soto says that's true. Robert Hunter says it's true. So it's not just my imaginations. I want to talk about that. All right. So Brock says you definitely agree. All right. Somebody says I'm driving. Okay, let's look at it. Let's talk about it. All right. Thanks, Alex Express. Everybody hit that like button. All right. So Information Man Show, you're going to, Eric B. going to check it out. Okay. All right. So you guys definitely agree. All right. So that being said, I talk about solutions because I get paid to give out solutions. I am a business consultant. Like I explain to people all the time, I am not a YouTuber, okay? I am a CEO that uses YouTube. I am a business consultant. Clients pay me. You guys are my clients. You guys pay me to solve you guys' problems. But most of the time it's helping you get funding, helping you get a business, grow a business, get funding. That's my job. I have always gotten paid for solving problems. I don't know if that's the reason why I'm so solution oriented, or if it is because I'm a man of God, but I've always gotten paid for solving problems. If I don't solve the problem, I don't get paid. So I don't know if that's the reason why I'm solution based, even when I'm dating a chick. And it's hard for me because she get to talking and complaining and whining, or not even whining, just talking and complaining and venting. Forgive me. I didn't mean to say whine. And venting, and instantly I'm trying to solve the problem. And a lot of times she'll say stuff like, I just want to talk. I just wanted you to know the issue. Like, don't tell me the problem because I'm going to fix it. So fellas, if you've ever experienced that, if you ever dated a chick and she talks to you and she vents and you try to solve it, or you're instantly not understanding why she is talking about the things she's talking about, I want you to say LOL. All right, I want you to say LOL. And ladies, if you're watching and you're the same way where you don't really want your man to fix it a lot of times, you just want to vent to him, I want you to say, it's me. Okay, we're going to tell the truth and shame the devil. I'm going to get into the topic in a moment, guys. I'm just getting into my groove, okay? I just need you guys to participate with me. Make sure I'm not crazy, not losing my mind. Okay, thank you so much for that. All right, thank you so much for participating. So the first person to give me the LOL was BNY. First person was Alex Express. He gave me the LOL. Then BNI Cobra said he gives me the LOL. Frank Scott is giving me the LOL. All right. D Anderson give me the LOL. A whole bunch of L's. First lady was Miss Tawana Jones, says it's me. Thank you for participating. All right. Jackie Reyes says it's me. Thank you for participating. Yep. So that being said, I am a solution-based individual, and a lot of the times what causes me to be so effective is because I go to ancient principles and ancient texts. Now let's get into this. We're talking about how can I call myself a woke black Christian. All right. Now that you guys are with me and we're in our groove. All right. Let me see if, like I said, if we can get to 100 likes in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to open up the phone lines. Right now we're at 44 likes. So I don't know if we're going to open up the phone lines, and I just might be teaching tonight. But so make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is E.DeanCole. It's E.DeanCole on Instagram. If somebody shared this with you, make sure that you follow me on Instagram. It's instagram.com, E.DeanCole. So now that I've gotten all of the jitters out and we're good, you guys are interacting with me and we got our energy going. I want you guys to be 100% honest and transparent with me. Like I said, we're not talking about any business today. This is conscious commentary. If you believe that Christianity is the white man's religion, I want you to say, I think so. 3 words, I think so. And this isn't a bashing session. We're going to build. I'm going to talk about this. and we can interact with me. If you think that Christianity is a white man's religion and that African Americans should not be Christians or specifically Africans shouldn't be Christians, I want you to say, I think so. And if you disagree, or if you think that Christianity is a black man's religion, or they can be a black man's religion, I want you to say, for Christians, 2 words, FOR Christians. Okay. So if you believe that Christianity is a white man's religion and that I'm foolish for being a Christian, I'm foolish and it's an oxymoron to be a black Christian. That's what I was going to get. I was going to get my gun. That's why I was going in. I was like, why am I going in? And I was going to go get my gun because I wanted to use it as an example. That's what I was going to go do before I went live. But okay. All right. So let's do a temperature check and let's look and see. Let's see. All right. Let's do a temperature check and let's see what we're doing. Let's see how we looking. Okay. All right. So, somebody else said that they're a fixer. All right. Somebody said that's the nature of a woman. All right. So, the Great Help says you love this content. I'm glad that you love the content. Great Help. Thank you very much for coming. Make sure you guys share this and hit that like button. All right, so the Great Help is a Seventh-day Adventist. All right, so Miss Tawana Jones is I think so. So you think that it's a white man's religion. All right, was that Tremaine Pierce? Was that? I just say Tremaine. Tremaine thinks that it's a white man's religion. All right. All right, so D Staten says it's hard. You don't know. Well, at the end of this, we're gonna talk about it. Am I Christian? Yes, Dunny, I'm Christian. Like the title of the video says, how we're doing a Bible study and how I can become a woke, how I can consider myself a woke black Christian. All right, so Big Pappy says, I think so. All right, Brooke Wilson says, I think so. You said you like the dashiki rate. I appreciate you so much for that, my man. All right, The Great Help says for Christians. All right, Nikki Platt says for Christians. All right, I Shop for Club says for Christians. BNY says for Christians. Top 20 says for Christians. Okay, it's a good mixed crowd so far. All right, so Big the Realist says I think so. All right, so JBS Security Property says it was taught. It says it was taught to keep us in slavery. All right, a client just enrolled into the course. So Pierce C says not Christian. Okay, give me a moment, guys. I got to make sure somebody have access to the course. I'm about to get into this, and I know that this is a long intro, but this is live, and so a client just enrolled into the course. I got to make sure that they got what they need. Give me a moment, guys. Forrest. So Forrest, if you're watching, I'm personally sending you your information right now. Shoot. So now you just made a very good point. The individual said that they thought that it was used to keep people in slavery. And we're going to talk about that for a moment. We're going to talk about, we're going to break it down. And I really wish I had my Glock on me. Because I really wish I had my Glock on me. Bear with me for one moment, guys. I really want to go get that Glock. I hit the live button too soon. I was like, as I was going to my bedroom, and I was like, why am I going to the bedroom? Like, Oh, man. Hold on for 1 second, guys. Bear with me. This is live, okay? So I know you clicked on the title of the video for we're talking about it, but like I said, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a CEO, and a client just enrolled into my course on a Sunday, and I need to personally make sure that they get what they need. Give me a moment, guys. Boom, boom. So Forrest, you'll make sure that you have everything that you need for your course. Make sure you had it. Boom, you got it. Okay. Apologize, guys. Forgive me. Okay, so. All right, so. Let me paint this. Man, I really wish I had my Glock on me. But okay, so let me paint the scenario, all right? So, a gun is a tool, right? Man, I really wish I had my Glock. If somebody came into my house right now, God forbid, and they tried to rob me or they tried to harm me, and I pulled out a gun and I shot them, would I be wrong for that? If it was yes or no, would I be wrong for that? All right. So yes or no, would I be wrong? If somebody came into my house, right? Somebody came into my house and they tried to rob me and I shot them, would I be wrong for that? I want you to say yes or no. Man, I wish I had my Glock on me. Say yes or no. Thank you guys so much for participating. I need you guys' participation. All right. All right. So the first person to comment was Jackie. Jackie says no. All right. William T says no. All right. A20 military says not in Texas. All right. B Wilson says no. Washington Blaze says no. Alex says no. BNY Cobra says no. Omega Dread says no. All right. Thank you so much for participating. All right. So Glenn Lloyd says, of course not. No. All right. So let's turn the tables. Let's say, for instance, if I go out of my house right now, I walk outside my house right now and I see somebody walking down the street. God forbid I pull out that Glock and I let one fly. Am I wrong for that? If I just see a random person if I see a random person walking, now I'm leaving my house and I see a random person on the street and I let one fly. Am I wrong for that? Yes or no? Am I wrong for that? I want you to say yes or no. All right. All right. So Rodney says yes. So Ray David said in Canada, yes. All right. Omega Dread says yes. Robert Hunter says yes. Jaquez Reyes says yes. All right. Time Coach Trav says that I'm going to jail. All right. Big Poppy says yes. Thank you for participating. All right. William T says yes. Piercy Jones says yes. Isaac says yes. All right. JBS Security Property Preservation says absolutely. And I'm so glad. So JBS, you said absolutely. So JBS, you said if somebody came into my house and I shot them with the gun, that I am in the right. But if I go outside and I inflict that damage to them, you said that I would go to jail. Christianity is like that Glock. It's like the gun. Certain people use it for bad things. The gun is not wrong. The Glock is not wrong. The intent of what you use it for is what's wrong. So for us to continue, that is the baseline that I need for everyone's mindset to understand. Christianity is just like that gun. It is wrong if you use it the wrong way. It is right if you use it the right way. You might not agree with me, but if you can agree at least to the fact that if something is used the right way and something is used the wrong way, that it is that you can understand that. If you can understand that, I want you to say understand, okay? And I'm about to break it down. You guys know me. I speak facts, all right? And we're going to break it down. So if you can understand that principle, and if you can just understand the mindset that now, and a lot of white people used the Bible. They misused it the same way they used that gun. They took the original intent for it and they used it to enslave people. But I am going to share with you, and by the end of this video, you're going to know without a shadow of a doubt and without any equivocations the origin. And I'm going to prove to you and I'm going to show you that the following Jesus Christ and following Jehovah God was a principle that was set up before a Caucasian ever set foot in Africa. If you guys are with me and you're ready for me to go, I want you to say ready to go. Ready, the number 2, go. All right. If you're with me, even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to participate with me as if you are watching me live. I want you to make a mind muscle connection. And if you are watching on the replay and you're like, Dean, I wanted to catch you live. How come I didn't know? 2 things. You've watched one of my videos before, but you did not subscribe. Or thing number 2, you did subscribe, but you did not hit that notification bell. So it's very important for you to hit that notification bell so the next time I'm live like this, you can participate with me, okay? So we're going to go ahead and build on this thing, guys, all right? So if you guys are with me, let's see. The first person say ready to go. First person says ready to go was Robert Hunter, says ready to go. Thank you so much for participating. All right, Jackie, I just say Jackie is ready to go. All right, you guys are with me, ready to go? Okay, awesome. All right, you guys are ready to go? Boom. All right, so let's do this. Now, if I was a Caucasian individual and I wanted you to be in slavery to me, and if I wanted you to be mindless to me, and if I wanted you to think that I was God, if I'm telling you a story, I would cause that story to be where I'm from. If I wanted you to think that Europeans were God, if I wanted you to think that you came from a monkey or that you came from an ape, if I was writing the story, it would stand to reason that I would write the story beginning in Europe. If I say that we are the original people and that we have dominion and we have dominion over the world and we're the superior nation, then I would have everything start in Europe. That's just me. Would you agree with that? If that's what you were doing, if you were trying to set a precedent, if you wanted people to believe that they were lower than you, and if you wanted people to believe that they were less than you, you would start off by saying the origin was where you came from. If you can see that, I want you to say, can see that. 3 words. Can see that, right? If you can see that, I want you to say, can see that. All right? Thank you so much for participating, guys. If you can see that, I want you to say, can see that. All right, you can see that, you can see that, you can see that, okay? You can see that. Thank you for participating, okay? Now, the reason why I say that is because now, whether you agree or you believe that the Bible is right or wrong, we're talking about the intent of Christianity from that last statement. I would do that. If I was creating an atmosphere where you would be superior, I wouldn't start. Now, quiet as it's kept, what most people don't realize is that the book of Genesis starts in Mesopotamia. If you guys knew that, I want you to say knew that. If you didn't know that, I want you to say didn't know. Even if you're watching this on the replay, guys, like I said, I want you to make a mind muscle connection with me, and I want you to participate as if you were watching me live. Now, I'm going to break down and show you that the Bible is real and authentic, okay? I'm going to break it down and give you facts. But first, I am teaching, and this is a Bible study, so I am breaking it down, okay? If you knew that the Garden of Eden is modern day Mesopotamia, if you knew that, I want you to say knew that. If you didn't know that, I want you to say didn't know. And I am going to show you guys what Mesopotamia looks like. Boom, 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 and where Mesopotamia is. I'm going to show you where it is. All right. Boom, boom, boom. And so I'm just speaking facts and I'm speaking truth to power. Now, I'm not saying, now notice, I'm speaking truth to power, speaking facts, okay? If I wanted to say, well, Mesopotamia, well, the Garden of Eden was in Africa, then they took it up in the sky, and no. I'm going to show you factually the Garden of Eden. And I'm going to show you, if I can get it together, where it is. Oh, you know what? Oh, because I am running so many browsers. God dang it, I probably spoke too soon. I hope I don't crash the session. Oh shoot, let me get back to this. I hope I don't crash the session. All right. All right, so let's go with the fact of Mesopotamia. Let's see that. So if you guys knew that, all right. So we're just talking now, all right. So the first person to say they knew that was Pierce C. Jones. Pierce says that they knew that. All right. Blue 7 says they knew that. All right. A2 Ministry says knew that. All right. So Robert Hunter says didn't know that. All right. Mr. Mo says you knew that Mesopotamia is biblical Shalita. All right. William T says didn't know that. Omega Dread says knew that. All right. BNY Cobra says didn't know that. All right. So let's go ahead and break this down a little bit more. Let's break it down another further. So the Bible says in the book of Genesis. Now, whether you agree with it or not, now I'm just going to talk about location wise. Now, I could show you, but I'm afraid that the stream might crash. But Mesopotamia is in modern day. It is people say before earthquakes and whatnot was the Horn of Africa at the very top portion, top right of East Africa, just outside of Egypt. It's right over by Saudi Arabia. The reason why is because the Bible says, let's get to it. Just in the Bible, and we're gonna break down how we know that the Bible is real. Okay, we're gonna break that down. The Bible talks about how that they were in the Garden of Eden, that there were three rivers. That's where a lot of economists talk about having multiple streams of income or three streams of income. What they do is they use the law of first mention, and then they exegete the rivers flowing. And in the Garden of Eden, had the Tigris, the prison, the Poseidon, I apologize, and the Euphrates all going together. And in that area, it is located in what we would consider Iraq, which is in southern Mesopotamia, not in Europe, not in Italy, not in Spain, but in Mesopotamia, which was a portion of the top right portion of Africa. Okay, so Egypt, Africa, and Mesopotamia was closer together than Europe and Mesopotamia. So it would stand to reason that they're doing a very bad job of trying to show superiority by saying that the original people weren't even in that area. So now let's talk about the Bible. A lot of people say that the Bible is fake. A lot of people say that the Bible has been rewritten, that the Bible is not real. All right. How many people have ever heard that? If you've ever heard that the Bible is fake or the Bible is not real or the white man rewrote the Bible, that it was a sodomite king. That's why his name is King James, and you're listening to this sodomite's Bible or this sodomite's book. If you've ever heard that, I want you to say heard that. I'm going to show you how, without a shadow of a doubt, without any equivocations, by science, okay? Everything I've said up until this point, the first thing is we're talking about the actual geographic location of the rivers running together is Mesopotamia. So that's a fact, not a fiction. It's not a fact. It wasn't in the heart of Africa. It was on the outskirts of Africa, a little outside of Egypt. It's a fact. It was not in Europe. It wasn't in Spain. It's in Mesopotamia, which is modern day Iraq. Okay? So now we're talking about how we know what we read is real. Let's talk about that. So if you've ever heard that before, I want you to say heard it. All right? If you've ever heard it before, I want you to say heard it. All right? Make sure you guys say heard it. Let's see the first person to participate. And I need you guys to participate with me, and I appreciate you guys so much for participating with me. All right, so Pierce C. James said all the time. Okay. All right. Heard that. Okay, you guys heard that. A lot of people say they heard that. A lot of people heard that. A lot of people say that it was fake. A lot of people say heard that. A lot of people it was fake. Okay, so we're going to break it down. Yes, today's Mesopotamia is southern Iraq. Absolutely. So we're going to break it down. A lot of people say heard that. Okay. Now, how many of you guys have ever heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls? All right. So now I'm going to prove to you by fact that the Bible is real by not using the Bible. I'm going to prove to you that the Bible is real, so that way we can start talking about the things of the Bible without it being a fiction book that has been changed. Not using the Bible, not using that Jesus is my Lord and Savior because he feels good in my soul. You're in the presence of an intellectual. I'm not going to be spiritual. Right now, I'm being very intellectual. So, have you ever heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls? If you've ever heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls, I want you to say yep or yes. If you have never heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls, I want you to say no or never. I want you to participate with me, guys, okay? And this might not be so entertaining to a lot of people. It might not get that many views, but it's okay, though. I just want to break this down because I have to lay the foundation so that we can talk about this and take away a lot of different propaganda and arguing points. So that way I can tell you guys and show you guys how I can call myself a woke black Christian. First, I have to show you that, First, I have to show you that the Bible is real. Then I have to show you and place following Christ a Christianity even before the first slave ship ever sailed. Okay? So before a troglodyte ever put on a pair of pants, okay? I'm going to show this to you guys, all right? So if you heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls, I want you to say yes or yep. If you never heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls, I want you to say never, okay? I want you to say never or no. So the first person to participate was, all right, 617, what's that, 617? 617 says yes. All right, Glam Lloyd says yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right, so D670 says no, never heard of it. All right, Jackie says no, never heard of it. All right, William T says no, never heard of it. All right, so Pierce C says you think that you have. Okay, we're going to break it down. All right, Brock Wilson says no, never heard of it. All right, Big Gorilla says no, never heard of it. Okay, so let's talk about the Dead Sea Scrolls. Now, the Dead Sea, here we go. The Dead Sea is, let me tell you guys what the Dead Sea is. The Dead Sea, now we're just talking about facts, okay? All right, the Dead Sea is also borders by Jordan, all right? And it's close to Jerusalem. Not in Europe, not in Spain. We're not talking about a conquistador. We're not talking about a Caucasian individual. But the Dead Sea, okay? The Dead Sea is in Jordan. It's right outside of Jordan. Man, I really wish I could show this to you guys, but I'm afraid that it's going to mess everything up. It's very close to Gaza. The Dead Sea, to make a long story short, is in the continent right outside of Egypt, very close to Mesopotamia. It is a little south of Syria, a little west of Iraq, close to, the best place to say is in Jordan and Israel, okay? It's in Jordan and Israel, not in Europe, not in the Caucasus Mountains, not in Spain where the conquistadors went to try to crusade and whatever, but it's still part of the continent that make up right where Africa is, okay? The Dead Sea Scrolls, let's talk about it, okay? Now, what are the Dead Sea Scrolls? Now, we're talking facts, guys, and you can look up everything that I'm saying, all right? The Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls were found in 1994 in the caves of Qumran, right outside of Jordan in the Dead Sea. Archaeologists found clay pots. The clay pots had scrolls in them. You can go and buy a copy of the Dead Sea Scrolls. And what they did was they did carbon-14 dating, okay? Carbon-14 dating. Now, have you ever heard of carbon-14 dating before? Do you know what carbon-14 dating is? If you know what carbon-14 dating is, I want you to say, I know. If you don't know what carbon-14 dating is, I want you to say, don't know. All right? If you know what carbon-14 dating is, I want you to say, I know. If you don't know what carbon-14 dating is, I want you to say, don't know. All right, guys, like we're having a Bible. This is what Bible study is like. We're just breaking down the foundation, guys. I am showing you how now we're talking about science. We're not talking about spookiness. We're not talking about spirituality. We're talking about science, okay? If you know what carbon-14 dating is, I want you to say, I know. If you don't know what carbon-14 dating is, I want you to say, don't know. All right, guys. If you know, I want you to say, I know. If you don't know, I want you to say, don't know. Okay? If you know what it is, I want you to say, I know. If you don't know what it is, I want you to say, don't know. So, let's go ahead and do a temperature check, guys. Okay? All right, so for A20, Ministry says, don't know. Regina Davis says, I know. Jason says, don't know. A lot of you guys say you don't know, you know. Pierce C says, don't know. All right. All right, so Amen says Christianity is most definitely an African religion, and we're going to talk about that, all right? We're going to break it down, all right? So carbon-14 dating, what carbon-14 dating does is this. So what they did was it was a myriad of clay pots, and in those clay pots they had scrolls. The scrolls were tied up, and the archaeologists tested the carbon in the paper to see how old the carbon was, okay? When they tested the carbon, science stated that the carbon-14 dating, that these actual scrolls went all the way back to, believe this a lot, 167 BC, okay? According to science, it went back to 167 BC. And carbon-14 dating states that the Dead Sea Scrolls went all the way back to 167 BC by science. Now, what was the Dead Sea Scrolls? Let me show it to you. This book right here that you guys see behind me, the Bible. The Bible was originally drafted in 3 different languages: Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. All right? Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. It was not originally written in English. So if you knew that, I want you to say didn't know. If I just taught you something you didn't know, I want you to say OMG. So when they did a translation of the Dead Sea Scrolls, and you can actually go and get a copy of the Dead Sea Scrolls right now, and it is stride for stride the same thing. It's the same thing as the Bible. Stride for stride. So this proves that the information in this book was not tampered with. This proves that the information in this book existed before a troglodyte ever thought about setting sail on a boat. Okay? So that means that I've just shown from the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls, I'm going to quote the Dead Sea Scrolls for the rest of the video. If I taught you something that you did not know, I want you to say OMG. If you knew that, I want you to say knew that, okay? So from here on out, I'm going to quote the Dead Sea Scrolls, all right? I'm going to quote the Dead Sea Scrolls. All right, let's see. The first person to participate was... All right, so the first person to participate was Mr. Morzes, says you knew that. All right, Jackie Reyes says OMG. William T says OMG. Antoine Tanin says you knew that. Greek come before Hebrew. All right, so Amari says Greek comes before Hebrew. Greek, Hebrew, Aramaic. Aramaic, Greek, Hebrew. It doesn't matter. We're not going to focus. We're not going to major on the minor things. The things that we are going to major on is the fact that it was carbon-14 dated to 167 BC. All right? So that's what we are going to do. All right, Robert says OMG, you didn't know that. William T says OMG, didn't know that. Charla says OMG, didn't know that. Benny Cobra says OMG, didn't know that. All right, Alex Express says OMG, didn't know that. So from here on out, I'm quoting the Dead Sea Scrolls. Now, the Dead Sea Scrolls go back to 167 BC. Okay? BC. Now, slavery started in 1619 AD. Okay? So slavery started in 1619 AD. The Dead Sea Scrolls, before a Edomite ever thought about trying to show superiority, 167 BC. All right? So we've laid the baseline and we laid the foundation. Now, that's science. Now let's talk about history. If you ever notice when I teach, I always teach from a psychological aspect. I teach from a historical aspect. Now in this standpoint, because we're talking about science, science is going to be, psychology is going to be replaced by science. But I always talk, if you've ever seen me teach, if you ever seen me orate, if you've ever seen me do what I do, when I get in my groove, I always break out 3 points. The first point is going to be psychological or science. In this case, it's going to be science. Second is historically. It's always going to be historically. Then the third one, most of the time, is spiritual, or if it's not spiritual, it's going to be social. So in this aspect, because I'm not talking about finances, I'm talking about spiritual. So the very first thing we talked about was science. So we talked about science. We talked about the physical location of the Garden of Eden. Second thing we talked about, science, was carbon-14 dating to the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay? Science. Third thing we're talking about right now is history. Now, how many of you guys have ever heard of the book? It's not a spiritual book. It's not a spiritual book at all. It's not the Bible. It's a historical book called the Antiquities of the Jews. If you've ever heard of the Antiquities of the Jews, if you've ever heard, I want you to say, have heard. If you've never heard of the Antiquities of the Jews, I want you to say, never have. This is a book. The Antiquities of the Jews is a historical book, a historical reference book. So I'm going to break down the Antiquities of the Jews. The best way to describe what the Antiquities of the Jews is, the modern day Antiquities of the Jews is the idea of a popping blogger's IG page. Baller alert. Boom. All right, so let's talk about it. So if you know what baller alert is, I want you to say, I know. We're teaching, guys. If you know what baller alert is, I want you to say, I know. All right. If you don't know if you know what baller alert is, I want you to give me the LOL face. LOL, laugh out loud. Give me the laugh out loud emojis. Give me the actual emojis. If you know what baller alert is, I want you to give me the laugh out loud emojis. Okay. Because I'm teaching. I teach in life application. You guys want to know how I can be a woke black Christian. And this is how I can be a woke black Christian. Okay. So if you know what baller alert is, even if you replied, okay, the first person to reply with the laughies was Charla. Charla's giving me the laughies. Thank you for participating. Big Rev, laughy face emojis. Thank you for participating. All right. BAKC, give me the laughy face. Thank you for participating. All right. So a lot of people says they never heard of the Antiquities of the Jews. All right, so William T says he doesn't know what Baller Alert is. So Baller Alert is basically a blog, All right. It is like a blog of what's going on or what's popping in modern society. That's what Antiquities of the Jews was like. So Antiquities of the Jews was written by the most notable scholar. Now, this is a scholar. This is not a fictitious biblical spiritual person. It's Josephus. Josephus wrote the Antiquities of the Jews. This is a historical book, not spiritual at all. All right? The Antiquities of the Jews. And in Antiquities of the Jews, this is historical, okay? This is historical. Historically, in the Antiquities of the Jews, Josephus says in the book of the Antiquities of the Jews, let's go to the exact chapter and the exact verse. In book number 18, let me go to it now. Give me a moment, guys. I'm trying to be cautious so that I don't crash the stream. Now, Antiquities of the Jews, so we're talking about history now. Antiquities of the Jews was written in 9394 AD, all right? 9394 AD. The Antiquities of the Jews was written in 9394 AD. Remember, slavery started in 1961 AD. Antiquities of the Jews was written in 9394 AD. All right? And in the 18th book and like the 20th chapter, it references Jesus. And this is what a scholar says, okay? This is what a scholar, this is not a spiritual book at all. This is reference, this is what he says. He says that, if it be lawful to call him a man, I suggest that Jesus was more than a human and is likely. Let's do the reference. Let me read it specifically. Give me a moment, guys. Hold on, it went out on me. I'm trying to make sure that this thing don't go down. Hold on for one moment. Give me a moment, guys. I want to read to you word for word. You know, like I say, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. All right. This is what it says. It says, this is the exact phrase. It says, that he says, and I beheld a man named Jesus. If it be lawful to call him a man, Jesus was more than a human man. He is, if it's be lawful to call him a man, because he's the Son of the living God. So in a historical reference, so when people talk about Jesus was fake, in a historical reference, in a historical book, not a spiritual book, this is not a fairy tale book, this is a historical reference book. It talks about the existence of Jesus. Now let's talk about Jesus. Let's talk about Jesus. Who is this Jesus, okay? Now remember, if I was trying to teach you that I am a Caucasian individual and you're supposed to worship me and I am superior to you, everybody talks about a blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus. But the Dead Sea Scrolls, which is what I'm quoting now, the Dead Sea Scrolls shows that Jesus was not blonde hair and blue-eyed. Let's go to the Dead Sea Scrolls in the book of Revelations. If you go to the Dead Sea Scrolls in the book of Revelations, in the 1st chapter and the 14th verse, this is what it says about Jesus. His head and his hair was white like wool. Okay? It was like wool. I don't know any Caucasian individual whose an Anglo-Saxon individual whose hair is like wool. We're going to break this down, okay? We're doing an etymology right now. His hair was like wool. Does this look like wool to you? Does this look like wool? If this looks like wool, I want you to say it does, okay? If this looks like wool to you, I want you to say it does, because it's only hair. I ain't got no hair on my head. But is this bushy like wool? If this looks like wool to you, I want you to say it does. If it doesn't look like wool to you, tell me what it looks like. Tell me, what does this look like to you? Tell me what it looks like wool. Tell me what it looks like. All right, so I shop for club says that I shop the club. Or I shot up the club. What's your name? Let me see. I shop for club. Okay. So William T says teach. I shop the club says it does. William T says it does. All right. Omega says laugh out loud. Correct. Charlotte says it does. All right. Diane says it does. All right. Omega says it does. Now let me know. Now let me know if this don't look like wool to you. What does it look like? Let me see now. If it don't look like wool to you, tell me what it look like. Tell me what it look like. It is. Okay, BNY says LOL. It is. Robert Hunter gave me the LOL face. All right, so Antoine says it looked like black people hair. LOL, don't look like wool. Okay. All right, so Cornell says it does. All right, come on now, talk with me now. All right, the Information Man Show says that it does. Yes, this looks like wool. Now, we're talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls, which we know. We said the Dead Sea Scrolls has been carbon-14 dated to 1607. Carbon-14 dating to 16. Let's go back now. Let's speak truth to power now. Carbon-14 dating all the way back to, let's be specific. I talk in specificity. 167 BC. Carbon-14 dating 167 BC. All right, we're going chronological now. Now, also, we noticed that a historical reference to describe who Jesus was, who was real, a historical book. All right, the historical book. Josephus was who was written by the blogger Josephus, the Antiquities of the Jews. He says that he said that if it be lawful to even call him a man, he's talking about Jesus the Christ, and Christ was not his last name, it was his title, was in 62 AD. Okay. Slavery started, the enslavement of black people started in 1619 AD. All right. Now the Dead Sea Scrolls says that his head was white like wool. It was as white as snow, and his eyes were like a blazing fire. Excuse me. Let me be specific now. Now, Caucasian people's hair. We're going to break it down, okay? Caucasian people hair. Does Caucasian people hair look like wool? If it does, say yes. If it doesn't, say no. Does stringy, oily hair, thin hair, does it look like wool? Is wool stringy, oily, and thin? Is it stringy, oily, and thin? If it is, say yes. If it's not, say no. I want you to participate with me now. We're talking, we're teaching. I'm about to break it down. I got to break it all the way down, and then I'm going to bring it to Africa. I ain't even got to Africa yet. We're teaching truth to power tonight now, okay? All right, so does it look like this stringy long hair look like wool? And I have some clients that are watching that are Caucasian, because I do business with everybody. So all of you clients that follow me for business, and we're talking about business things, and if this makes you uncomfortable, just bear with me. We're going to get to business tomorrow, okay? All right, so Cornell says that it does. Were you saying that white people, that wool looks long, stringy, and limp? All right, so let's talk about it. Okay. All right, so Antonio says nope. All right, so Charlotte says no, it does not. Okay. All right, so 617 says no. All right, so Antonio says nope. Ronald says H no. All right, iShop says nope. Peace family. What's going on from Gunya? Robert says nope. Jackie says nope. All right, Cornell says not wool. It does not look like wool. No. All right. Brightshear says no. Alex Express says no. And Alex Express is not black. He is a Latino American individual. We just speaking facts. A client of mine, successful YouTuber. Check him out. That's correct. So Cornell says that Caucasian people's hair have stringy hair, not like wool. All right. So you guys stated that my hair looks like wool. Now we're talking about the description of Jesus the Christ. It says that his hair was like wool and his feet was like bronze glowing in a furnace, and his voice was like the sound of a rushing water. This is the description of Jesus that was talked about in Josephus. The Dead Sea Scrolls in Revelations, the first chapter, verse 14 and verse 15. Verse 14 says that his hair was like wool and his feet was like brass. So let's look at what shiny brass looks like. I really want to do this. I hope I can do this. I hope I can do this and it don't mess nothing up. So it says that his feet was like wool and his skin was like brass. Okay? Let's look and see what brass looks like. Okay? This is a good definition of brass. Okay, please don't mess up on me. Please don't mess up on me. I should have did this before I should have brought out my Glock, and I also should have did all of this before I went live. So let's see how we looking. All right. So let me show you guys what brass looks like. Come on, don't mess me up. Don't crash on me. God dang it. God dang it. Don't do this to me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let's see. Let's see if we can see. Let's see if we can see it. I'm just teaching tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to break it down. Boom. There we go. Hey. Uh-oh. 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 Hey, there we go. This is brass. So you see me and you see the brass. Now, in case you did not know, brass is not white. It's not that white that you see, okay? Can you guys see that? You see my complexion, and then you see the complexion of brass. This is actual brass. You see this? If you can see it, I want you to say can see. So, a historical reference says that Jesus had hair like wool. Let's get it down. He had hair like wool, okay? And he had feet like brass. He had hair like wool, and he had feet like brass. Hair like wool and feet like brass. Now, for all the individuals, this here is brass. This white here is not brass. It said that his eyes were like fire, not blue like water. His eyes were bright like fire. So, all things being equal, that would stand to reason that, according to historical reference, that Jesus was not blonde hair and blue-eyed. So for everybody that say you worship a blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus, you know how to prove to them that Jesus was not blonde hair, blue-eyed, not by any spiritual reference, but by facts. If you guys are with me, I want you to say with you. If you feeling this and it's feeling good, I want you to say preach, brother, preach. 3 words, because I'm about to get into this thing right now. So we have laid the foundation. We have proven geographically that Christianity, that the Bible, that people say is fake, that the original teachings originally started in Mesopotamia, not in Europe, not in Spain. All right? We've also proven through science, through carbon-14 dating, that the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were originally in Greek, Hebrew, Aramaic, or Aramaic, Hebrew, Greek, whatever you choose to say, was originally written and translated, that the Dead Sea Scrolls it teaches that Jesus had hair like wool and feet like brass, not blonde hair and blue-eyed. And we also have a historical reference that's not a spiritual book whatsoever, the Antiquities of the Jews. And Josephus was like a blogger, and the Antiquities of the Jews is a collection of books that would explain, it would just write things down like a modern day blog or a modern day vlog. That's what the Antiquities of the Jews was. It's like a journal. It was journaling what was going on. All right? So let's go ahead and let's break it down a little bit more. So let's break it down a little bit more. All right. All right. All right, so Omega, you say you want to see unpolished brass? Unpolished brass is even darker than this. Unpolished brass looks like a moor, but notice we have to be specific, because what happens is that these heretics and these individuals, they like to discredit. So I didn't want to show unpolished because it would be even darker. I wanted to show polished because the Dead Sea Scrolls says that it was polished. But that's a very good point. All right, so BNY says you see the brass, good stuff. You guys are with me, with you, preach, brother. Thank you so much for that, Robert. All right, Venturous One says preach, brother, preach. All right, so somebody says that blonde hair, blue eyed dude. I don't know what you mean by that. All right, preach, brother, preach says amen. No tech. All right, Cornelius Bragg says, preach, brother, preach. All right, what in the world is that? Metamorphosis, dope name, says, preach, brother, preach. All right, A2 Ministry says, preach, brother, preach. Information Man says, you're right, my brother. You're with me. Thank you so much for that, Information Man. All right, you guys are with me. Everybody's with me. Everybody's with me. Everybody's with me. Okay, so now, let's break it down. So before anything, okay? Before anything, so you know without a shadow of a doubt, and without any equivocations, that Jesus was not blonde hair, blue eyed. So you can stand firm and say Jesus was not blonde hair, blue eyed. Now remember, we talked about that gun, right? We talked about that gun. Now let's talk about them using the gun against us. they would want to paint a picture of Jesus the Christ being blonde haired and blue eyed. Then they want to show a picture of the Virgin Mary. But how many of you guys know that the Shrine of the Black Madonna was a incarnation, not incarnation, but the Shrine of the Black Madonna was the Virgin Mary, the artwork of the Virgin Mary is a rendition of the Shrine of the Black Madonna. Now, if I want to create a book, and then I try to enslave someone's mind, then I will put up those different images. However, remember, before 1961, we have shown reference. Now let's go ahead and break down when we see Christianity as the following of Jesus the Christ in Africa. Okay, so this is how I can say that I am a woke Christian, because we've set the foundation. Now, because I've shown you and I've proven to you, now I have the right and the responsibility to teach from the Dead Sea Scrolls and also historical books. So let's go ahead and talk about it. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, we're talking about this now. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, in the book of Acts, the 8th chapter and the 26th verse, it says, it is giving reference to Philip. It's giving reference to Philip and the Ethiopian. We're talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls. We're talking about Philip and the Ethiopian. All right. Now, an angel of the Lord said to Philip, rise and go toward the south. Now, notice this. At this particular point, just for some more historical reference, they were in Jerusalem. Okay. So they were in Jerusalem at this time. South of Jerusalem is Africa. Okay. Historically, in the Dead Sea Scrolls in the book of Acts, the 8th chapter and the 26th verse, it says, and the Spirit of the Lord, and the angel of the Lord. And the angel of the Lord said to Philip, rise and go toward the south to the road that goes down from Jerusalem to Gaza. This is a desert place. And he rose and went. And there was an Ethiopian, a eunuch, a court official of Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who was in charge of all of her treasures. He had come to Jerusalem to worship and was returning seated in his chariot. So he went to Jerusalem to worship. Now we're talking about the queen of Ethiopia, right-hand man. So let's break this down. Do you know what a eunuch is? If you know what a eunuch is, I want you to say, I know. If you don't know what a eunuch is, I want you to say, don't know. All right? Because I'm breaking this down. I am showing you and I'm teaching you how I can call myself a woke Christian. And I'm showing you Africa in the Bible. Okay? Now, we've already proven that the Dead Sea Scrolls, 99.9% of the King James Version of the Bible. Now, I'm just talking from the Dead Sea Scrolls, okay? I ain't even talking from the Bible. I'm talking from Dead Sea Scrolls right now. All right? So if you know what a eunuch is, I want you to say, I know. If you don't know what a eunuch is, I want you to say, don't know. All right? So Ty says, I know. All right. Venturious One says, I know. All right. All right. Tina says, I know. Piercy says, I know. All right. So Anto says that she does not know. All right. Blue 7 says, I know. Cornell Bragg says don't know. Tina says I know. All right. I Shop for Club says I know. So basically, a eunuch was a man that was castrated. Okay. Most of the time, they were either put into servitude from a debt, and they served the queen. You know what I'm saying? So they cut off his ability to produce, so he could not produce kids. He could not have sex. They took away his testicles. You understand what I'm saying? They took away his testicles. He still had the other part, but he didn't have this part. Okay? So they took that away so he could not impregnate the queen. Now, some people say that eunuchs were used to, they were the servants of the queen. And we're talking about the queen of Ethiopia. We're not talking about a princess. We're not talking about a dignitary. We are not talking about a royal heir. We're talking about the queen. All right. And the queen of Ethiopia, her right-hand man, went to Jerusalem to worship. Who was he worshiping? He was worshiping Jehovah the God. We can break that down a little later. Now let's talk about why and how would they go to Jerusalem to worship. Now at the time in the book of Acts, Jesus the Christ had just died. And after Jesus the Christ had just died, he rose from the grave. And so a lot of people were making, the word went out. So this individual went to Jerusalem to worship. He did not go to the trees in the woods to worship the African spirits. He did not go to the ocean, to the waters, to worship the African spirits. He did not go to the mountains, to the rocks, to worship the African spirits. He went to Jerusalem to worship. Okay? He did not go to Europe. He did not go to the Caucasus Mountains. He did not go to Spain where the conquistadors were. He did not go to Mayan temples. He went to Jerusalem to worship. Now let's go ahead and talk about why he went to Jerusalem to worship. I'm going to let you guys know that the number one nation that has never, ever, 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 ever on earth ever been colonized has been Ethiopia. Ethiopia has never been colonized. Ethiopia has never had an invader. Ethiopia is the only location that has never been colonized. There has never been a colonizer to set foot in Ethiopia. Never. To this day. They do business and they do commerce and they do trade, but there has never been any Ethiopian that has ever been in servitude to any nations. If you knew that, I want you to say, knew that. If you didn't know that, I want you to say, OMG. So in Africa, Ethiopia is the only place where there have not been any missionaries. Well, that's not true. Let me tell you the first time a missionary came to Ethiopia, because I have that. All right. Ethiopia has never been colonized. All right. We're teaching today. All right. So I'm showing you how I can call myself a black Christian. Ethiopia was never colonized by Europe power, ever, 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 never. It was occupied by Italians. It was occupied by Italians in 1936. It wasn't until 1936 that an outsider had ever set foot on the blessed soil of Ethiopia. All right? It has never been colonized. When did slavery start again? Slavery started in when? 1619. In Ethiopia, a colonizer never set foot, and it wasn't a European colonizer. Well, it was European. It was an Italian colonizer. In 1936, and they didn't even colonize it. They were actually explorers, and they were looking to do commerce. If you knew that, I want you to say knew that. If you didn't know that, I want you to say OMG. These are all historical facts and references, okay? All right, I want you guys to get with me. I know this is boring and I know this is long, and I apologize if this is I know this is boring and long. Okay, thank you so much for that. All right, so Mr. Moores says you knew that. All right, so Anto says facts. All right, Amen says I knew that. Tina Thomas says you knew that. Venturious One says you knew that. All right, AMA says OMG. All right, I shop for club says OMG. Jackie says OMG. Charlotte says OMG. B&Y Cobra says OMG. All right, so Information Man says speak truth, brother. I'm speaking truth to power, okay? All right. So Cornelius says OMG. All right, so Jackie says it's not boring. Keep going. Thank you so much for that. All right, so somebody says that you're here for it and it's not boring. Thank you so much for that, Venturious One. Okay. All right. So now, so when somebody say this is the white man religion, white man enslaved you. We were worshiping the God. We were worshiping the God of the woods, and we worship the spirit God of the waters. We worship the spirit gods of the rocks. I'm an African. However, in the Dead Sea Scrolls, the angel of the Lord said to Philip to go down to Jerusalem where he met an Ethiopian eunuch. Now, let's talk about how did the practice of worshiping Jehovah God get to Ethiopia, because it has never been colonized. Now, remember, it has never been colonized by an outsider. Never been colonized by an outsider. Let's talk about how the practices of worshiping Jehovah God made it into Ethiopia and all of Africa. All right. If you're ready, I want you to say ready. All right. Now let's go to another historical book. All right. Now I'm going to break some stuff down for you. All right. So we're breaking this down. If you're ready, I want you to say ready. I'll talk about my favorite books that I've read. I'm going to give you guys my top 3 favorite books. This book that I'm about to tell you right now is only for $3 on the Google Play Store. It'd be a great book for you guys to read. I would say my top 3 favorite books, The Dead Sea Scrolls. My second favorite book, I would say, is The Alchemist. My third favorite book is The Kebra Nagast. Have you ever heard of the Kebra Nagast? Is actually a historical reference of the Queen of Sheba. Is the only book. It's called the Book of Kings. Hold on for a second. Somebody else just enrolled into the course. Give me a second, guys. So somebody else just enrolled into the course, and it's a Sunday. So I'm the only one man and stuff. I told you I'm a CEO in real life. My staff is off the weekend, so I got to take care of it. Who's that? So this Cornelius? Hold on for a second. Aren't you in the chat, Cornelius? Aren't you watching live? Cornelius, I just saw your name. Hold on for a second, Cornelius. Cornelius, let me just see. Did you just enroll Cornelius? Is it the same Cornelius? Hold on for a moment. Where Cornelius at? I thought I just saw the name Cornelius. How you going? Yo, Cornelius Braggs. How you you just enrolled into the course and you in the live. Okay, Cornelius. All right, Cornelius. Yes, sir, that's you. Okay, Cornelius, I'm about to send you your information right now. So I'm up here teaching. Give me a moment. Give me a moment, Cornelius. I'm going to send you your information right now. If you don't see it, check your spam folder because you have a Gmail. Give me a second. I have to send this to you, like I said, because my staff it's Sunday night. Give me a moment, Cornelius. Give me a moment. Guys, this is live, okay? This is live. I know Cornelius like, this man teaching like this about the word. I wonder what he gonna teach about finances. You got doggone right, boy. You got doggone right. I think I just butchered your name, Cornelius. I can never spell Cornelius right. I just butchered your name, but you just got it. Make sure you got everything that you need, Cornelius. Check. If you don't see it, check your spam folder. It's not coming from E.DeanCole. It's coming from the executive office, okay? So let me get back on track. So one of my favorite books is called the Kibra Nagas. The Kibra Nagas is translated as the Book of the Kings. So you guys know I'm a God, okay? I was made in the likeness and the image of Jehovah God. That's what the Dead Sea Scrolls tells me. And it says that I'm supposed to have dominion and power. That's what the Dead Scrolls tells me. So I know that I'm a God. I come from a royal priesthood. All right. Now, the Kibra Nagas is one of my favorite books. I can read the Kibra Nagas. If I get on a flight, I can read the Kibra Nagas. Is so good. It is a historical book. It's called the Book of the Kings. And in the Kibra, the only place people ever talk about the Queen of Sheba is the Kibra Nagas. The Queen of Sheba, her name was Makeda. Okay. So Makeda is the Queen of Sheba. Now, the Dead Sea Scrolls references her as the Queen of Sheba. However, her name is Makeda. Prime example. I am the CEO, but my name is E.DeanCole. So let's talk about the Dead Sea Scrolls, where the Dead Sea Scrolls references the Queen of Sheba, which happens to be Makeda. And I'm going to show you guys, and I'm going to teach you guys. What the Kibra Nagas talks about, how the following of Jehovah God went to Egypt. Not Egypt, excuse me, to Ethiopia, and how it spread. All right, so in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and we're talking about the First Kings, the Kibra Nagas. Now here we go, the Kibra Nagas, and let me give you the correct spelling of it, okay? So that you guys know. So I need for you guys to. So I want all of you guys to write this down so you guys can know what this book is and go and look at this book. This is one of my favorite books. It's the Kibra Nagas. It's spelled Kebranaghst. The Kibra Nagas. All right. It's the Kebranaghst. Let me put this in the chat. Kibra Nagas. All right. All right. Victorious One. I saw your super chat. All right. You inspirational, love it. Thanks so much, Alex Express. All right. Praise the Most High. Hallelujah. Teach. Okay, Venturious One. All right. So the Kibra Nagas is pronounced Kibra Nagas. All right. So Cornell says that you've been waiting and thinking about signing up for the course for months now, but tonight's topic was the icing on the cake. So how does? Okay, we can talk about that later, Cornelius. But it's thank you so much for that domino effect. Kibra Nagas, thanks so much for that. Tina Thomas. Kibra Nagas, okay, is the Book of the Kings. All right. All right, the Apocrypha is a very good book review with Daniel. I really, really, really like Apocrypha. It's a very good book, but right now we're on talking about this, okay? So in the Kibra Nagas is the only place that details the relationship of Makeda, who was the Queen of Sheba, and Solomon. Now, we know that King Solomon, was the wealthiest, wisest man in the Bible and the Dead Sea Scrolls. All right? In the Dead Sea Scrolls, in the Book of Kings, the chapter First Kings, specifically now, we teach it now, we're putting it together. First Kings, give me a moment. Let me get this together now. I want to be specific. I want to speak specificity because, you know, people like to discredit you. We don't play these games around here. All right? We don't play these games around here. You speaking truth to power. All right? Where you go? I lost track. Give me a moment, guys. I lost track, guys. Give me a moment. Forgive me. There we go. In 1 Kings, here we go. In 1 Kings, the 10th chapter, it says that the Queen of Sheba, which is Makeda, goes to visit Solomon. And why did she go to visit Solomon? Let's talk about why she went to go visit Solomon and who Solomon was, okay? Now, Solomon, I'm considered a modern day Solomon. Let's talk about who's considered a modern day Solomon. One of the best to do it, the best to ever do it, is Les Brown. Is considered a modern day Solomon. Tony Robbins is considered a modern day Solomon. People don't like to talk about him, but he's doing a very good job. Gary Vee is considered a modern day Solomon. These are individuals that are titan of their industry. E.DeanCole is considered a modern day Solomon. They are a titan of their industry, and they're a motivational speaker. So what was going on at the time is that people had heard about Solomon doing so well. He had built this temple to Jehovah God. Now, Solomon had a lust problem. I'm going to tell you that right now. Solomon is David's boy. You understand me? Solomon had a problem when it came to them sugar walls. You dig what I'm saying? That's Solomon's. This is David's boy. That name is very important. This is David's son. Solomon had a problem when it came to them ladies. King Solomon, we talked about this before. King Solomon had, let me tell you how many wives and concubines he had, wives and girlfriends. Now, this is very important, guys. King Solomon had 700 wives, and he had 300 concubines. Solomon had a problem with that thing. He was wealthy. He was the most sought after motivational speaker. He wanted to come and he would teach people that game. People, the Keeper Nagish talks about how, and really read it, how kings and queens and emperors would come and sit at his feet just to learn from him. All right. Now, in the First Kings and the Dead Sea Scrolls, First Kings, the 10th chapter says, when the Queen of Sheba heard about the fame of Solomon, when Makeda heard about the fame of Solomon and his relationship with the Lord, when the Queen of Sheba heard about the fame of Solomon and his relationship with the Lord, she came to test Solomon. Huh? Ladies, how many of you guys, or how many ladies, how many of you have ever seen a fine man or a handsome man and you want to test him to see how much you can get away with? You want to see if you're really about that life. If you ever done that before, I want you to give me 3 heart emojis, okay? Ladies, if you've ever done that before, I want you to give me 3 heart emojis. Fellas, if you know without a shadow of a doubt that you've been on your square, you've been on the top of your game, and you know some chick done heard about you, she done slid in your DMs, or her friend said such and such want to hear about you, and you hang out with her, and she texts you a gangster, or she wants to see if you're really about that life. If you've ever experienced that, I want you to give me 3 laughy emojis, okay? Ladies, if you've ever seen a man or heard of a man and was like, had kind of looking some type of way, and you want to see what they're about, 3 heart emojis. Fellas, if you've ever experienced on the reverse side, I want you to give me 3 laughy faces, okay? This is interactive. Even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to make a mind muscle connection with this, okay? I'm teaching tonight. All right? All right. Viturious he says, I'm right, be careful of them sugar walls. Listen to me. The sugar walls will catch you slipping all the time. You hear me? All right. Amen Knowledge gave me all them laughy faces. Cornelius gave me the laughy faces. All right. Quenisha Carter gave me the hearts. She done did it. Charlotte done gave me the heart. She done did it. Big the Realist gave me the laughy faces. Jackie Rhea says sorry. Gave me the hearts. But I asked. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, Jackie and BNY, if y'all in a relationship, I'm glad y'all watching together. Ain't nothing wrong with it, and I'm just asking. Hopefully it was about you, BNY. I shop for clubs. Says one time, laughy faces. Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. I said it, but yeah, 700 wives and 300 concubines. I said it right. All right, Venturious one gave me the hearts. So I'm not making this up. This happened back then and it happens now. The Dead Sea Scrolls says, and the Queen of Sheba visited Solomon. The Queen of Sheba heard about the fame of Solomon and his relationship to the Lord. She came to test Solomon with hard questions. Arriving at Jerusalem with a very great caravan, she came with her lips, hips, and fingertips. She came and said, look, baby, I got something to bring to the table too. You understand? You're dealing with a queen. You ain't dealing with no maid servant. You ain't dealing with somebody that's working at Popeyes. You're dealing with a queen. I'm a CEO in my own right. She is the Queen of Sheba. She is Makeda, who happens to be the empress of Ethiopia. God willing, I have a daughter. My next daughter, God willing, I have a daughter, another daughter. If I have another daughter, her name is going to be Empress from Makeda. Makeda is an empress. Okay, so she came with her caravan. Like, look, I'm not some regular chick. I'm not one of these concubines. Okay, she came with camels carrying spices, large quantities of gold and precious stones. She came to Solomon and talked with him about all that she had on her mind. She needed consulting. So here we go. When fellas, if you are dealing with a woman of means, it don't matter how thick she is. It don't matter how freaky she is. It don't matter how many men she's been with. When you can speak to her mind and you can give her some game, when you can be in her mind and in her spirit when you're not in her presence, that's how you know that you're dealing with royalty. Ladies, if a man can speak to you and you can think about him and he can reside and be in the recesses of your mind and in your spirit, that's how you know that he has the spirit of a king. If you're dealing with a man right now and your heart and your mind belongs to another man, unless you are married, you need to go and be with the man whose heart and mind you belong to, as long as he's treating you right. Now, if he ain't treating you right, you got a soul tie, you're going to have to break up off that thing. But if you are dating a man or you're dealing with a man and you're trying to figure out which man you need to be with, which one can give you clarity in your mind. Remember, we talked about how I said I'm a consultant. I said, women, you guys, we've already established that women like to just vent. But she wanted to see what is on your mind. She went to test this man. Are you of my caliber? Huh? I got caravans. Huh? I got gold. Huh? I got good credit. Huh? I own a couple properties. Huh? I have an education. Huh? She brought spices. Can she cook? Huh? Is she more than a builder body? Is she more than lips, hips, and fingertips? She came to the table and she came heavy and she came hard. You understand what I'm talking about? She said that she wanted to come, and the Queen of Sheba came and she saw the wisdom of Solomon and the place he had built, the food of his table, the seating of his officials, the attending servants in their robes, his cupbearers, and the burnt offerings he made at the temple of the Lord. She was overwhelmed. She saw the king in him and was overwhelmed. She fell in love. This is a queen. She is not the wife. She ain't got nobody else. She was the queen. She was the empress of Ethiopia. She came to sit with Solomon, the son of David, the same man who loved the Lord so much he danced out of his clothing. Solomon, the same one that said, Lord, just give me more of you and just give me wisdom. And Jehovah God said, because you asked for wisdom, I gave you wealth. The wealthiest, richest motivational speaker and wealthiest, richest man in the world attracted women to him. And not only women, but queens that can bring something to the table. I'm ministering to myself right now because I just did a video. Yesterday talking about, I don't know how I'm going to date or whatever. She going to come. I'm not going to have to go for her. She's going to come. I'm talking to myself right now. And when she comes, she going to come with something to bring to the table. The mistake that I've made, if I can be transparent, is I'll get a woman that got the lips, hips, and fingertips. And the Ethiopian women are the most gorgeous women on earth. You hear me? God almighty, no. Besides that, though, besides that long, beautiful hair, besides that top-notch butterscotch skin, and besides that exotic accent, she had stuff to bring to the table. And God just told me, as I'm teaching you, he's revealing to me, that's what's going to happen for me. And I don't need to look anymore. I just need to be the best version of myself. So I had to pause parenthetically as the Lord talks to me as I'm talking to you. So let's go another further. Now, the book of the Kings in the Dead Sea Scrolls, it says that she said to the king, the report I hear in my own country about your achievements and your wisdom, it's true. But I did not believe these things until I saw it for my own self. Indeed, not even half was told. They said you were a gentleman, but oh my gosh, I spent time with you. They said that you have wisdom, but oh my gosh, I spent time with you. They said that your house is laid, which is why I have no problem being in this 4,000, 5,000 square foot house by myself, because I spent time with you. Huh? Whew, this is making me happy. It says only half of it was told. God's almighty. How happy your people are, how happy your people must be. Praise be to the Lord your God, who has delighted in you and he has placed you on the throne of Israel. Because of the Lord's eternal love for Israel, he has made you king to maintain justice and righteousness. And she gave the king 120 talents of gold. Huh? She came giving him something. So ladies, if you want to deal with a king, you got to bring something to the table. And it's not all about give me, give me, give me. No, you got to bring something to the table. You have to show that you can handle you have to show that you belong. Huh? She gave him 120 talents of gold, large quantity of spices and precious stones. Never again were so many spices brought in as those from the queen of Sheba that she gave to Solomon. Now, let's pause parenthetically. That is as detailed as the relationship goes with Solomon and the queen of Sheba, which is the empress of Ethiopia, which is in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Now let's go to the Keeper Nagish. I really wish I had my version of it. Let me see if I can open it up. Now let me tell you what David's boy did. The one who had 700 wives and 300 concubines. I'm going to do this from memory. I done read this book like 16 times, Keeper Nagish. So let me tell y'all what happened. David seduced the queen of Sheba. She tricked him. Oh, come on now. All right, I'm going to do this from memory. Make sure you read it yourself, okay? I'm going to do this from memory, okay? So after all of that happens, okay, so you've already set the tone. After all of that happens, she's enamored. So the Keeper Nagish records, the Keeper Nagish says that Solomon was impressed by her. Solomon was moved by her. And he said, you got to read the Keeper Nagish. He said, I have to have her, okay? Now, we're talking about Solomon, the wealthiest man, David's boy. He had 700 wives, 300 concubines. He wanted that sweetmeat. He wanted that thing. So he tries to seduce the queen of Sheba. He tries to seduce Makeda. Makeda says, no, you cannot touch me because I don't belong to you. So what Solomon said was, okay, if you touch anything in my house that doesn't belong to you, then I get to touch you. She said, okay, she's a queen. She has character. You understand what I'm saying? She's a queen. She has decorum. You know, she's sophisticated. You understand what I'm saying? She's not going to pop her neck and talk down on a king. Even in his weak moment, when he was ruled by lust, she didn't talk down. You know, she said, okay. She said, that's cool. You dig what I'm saying? So they had dinner. And what the king of Solomon did was ice cold. He had all the spiciest, hottest, saltiest foods. And he gave her all the spiciest, hottest, salty foods. And to drink, he gave her warm wine. She didn't drink the warm wine. So she ate the food and went to bed. Solomon told the servant, in the middle of the king's chamber, the moonlight shined down through the through one of the openings in like the hallway. He told the servant, one of his servants, put a tall pitcher of water right where the moonlight shines. He went and waited, and he waited until the Queen of Sheba got so thirsty and parched that when she thought nobody was looking, she went to go and drink the water. Solomon grabbed her and he called her. He said, "You tried to steal from me. You said that I can't touch you. And I said, if you touch anything in my house that belongs to me, that I can have you." He said, "Are you not a woman of your word?" You got to read the Keeper Nagas. The Keeper Nagas is ice cold. You hear me? She says, "You have to make me a queen. Make me a wife." They cut a covenant right then and there. They didn't have a whole bunch of dignitaries. They ain't have nobody else. They cut a covenant. They made love. And then he romanticized her. And they bore a son. His son name was David. He named after his father. The Queen of Sheba says, "I have to go back and I have to take care of, no, I'm sorry. Sorry, forgive me. That's her grandson. Forgive me. His name was hold on for a second. Broke it down. Hold on for a second. That's how come I really wish I had this. Hold on for a second. His name was, hold on for a second. He had the son David. A lot of people, when they talk about Haile Selassie, and they talk about how the Rastafari believe that Haile Selassie was the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and how Haile Selassie comes from a royal lineage. He comes, the emperor of Ethiopia, he comes from that. So they actually had a son. His name was Menelik. I apologize. Menelik was the son of Queen of Sheba and Solomon. If you knew that, I want you to say knew that. So they fell in love and she became his wife. And then that's how they end up worshiping Jehovah God, the Lord Almighty. Jesus the Christ is the Son of the living God, Jehovah God. So remember, we've already established, how did the Ethiopian eunuch know to go to Jerusalem to worship the Son of the living God after his death? Is because it came through Menelik. Menelik is the heir to Haile Selassie. If you knew that, I want you to say knew that. If you didn't know that, I want you to say OMG. Now, we're just talking about Ethiopia. I'm about to get to Nigeria in a minute. All right. So we got some good people in here that say knew that. I want you to say knew that. Menelik. All right. All right. Venturious One says you knew that. Cornelia says OMG. Tina says OMG. Information Man says the Keeper Nagish. Yep, he tricked into giving up that Mr. Moses. Truth to Power, Information Man, absolutely interesting. Yes, you knew that, and the kingdom of God Menelik built was called Akum Impre. All right, Information Man says, I'm learning. I'm glad that you can learn something, Information Man. And we get to build together, my man. I'm speaking nothing but facts. Yes, they are. All right, so Daryl says that you're unable to sign up for the 720 because the 720 is the free bonus that we give you for signing up for the startup coaching. You have to sign up for the startup coaching. So hashtag MA say OMG. All right, you guys are with me? Did I lose you guys? You guys are with me? It's a Sunday. How many people we got watching? All right, we have 81 people watching live. Only 75 thumbs up. We got to do better than that, guys. All right, so Brian says, wow, good info. So now, remember, Ethiopia has never been taken by a colonizer. The Queen of Sheba, through her marriage to Solomon, the covenant that they cut, is what brought the worship of Jehovah God to Ethiopia. All right? That is how, this is the first account. Now, we're talking about Solomon again. We're talking about Solomon. Here we go. We're still talking about Solomon. Solomon, remember, kings used to come and sit at the feet of Solomon. According to the Dead Sea Scrolls, we're not even going to talk about the Pentateuch. We're not even going to talk about the Torah. We're just talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls. Kings used to come and sit at the feet of Solomon. Now let's talk about Nigeria. Now I'm going to break this down and I'm about to be out of your way. All right? So, now, when Solomon was building his temple, now I'm not a Hebrew Israelite by any stretch of the imagination, okay? I am a worshiper of Jehovah God. I believe that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. I am not a Hebrew Israelite by any stretch of the imagination. However, fact is a fact, okay? Historically, we're talking. So, Menelik, we're talking about Menelik. After the 4th century, the Ethiopian Jews, also called Beta Israel, House of Israel, or people call the Phalish Moors, outside of the neighbors, always reminded the hills of Jerusalem, even as they lived in the mountains of Gondar. The Ethiopian Jewish believed prayer. They believed in prayer that one day they will return to Zion. So a lot of people talk about it Zion and it being in Zion, okay? In the 1270, it's getting late, guys. I've been live for a few hours, so it's getting late. I'm about to power through this. In 1270, the Achaemenid dynasty returned to the throne once again. In 400 years of tribal warfare and bloodshed is when the Nigerian they call Igbo derived. Igbo, I-B-O, was a slang saying of Hebrew, Hebrew. And they all came through Menelik, the Queen of Sheba, who was Makeda, and King Solomon. David, the son of the living God, David, who worshiped Jehovah God, gave birth to Solomon. And Solomon was the key that brought the worship of Jehovah God through Africa. Now, remember, we talked about, now let's set the foundation. Remember, I went all the way back to bring you all the way up to the point. Remember when Philip, here we go. Remember when Philip went and met the Ethiopian eunuch that went to worship. Okay? All right, remember that. Okay? So in the here we go. We're back in Acts. This is after Jesus the Christ. After Jesus the Christ has died and rose again. Philip spoke with the Ethiopian eunuch. So remember, I had to set the foundation. So remember, we're back in Acts, the 8th chapter. It says, now an angel of the Lord said to Philip, rise and go toward the south to the road that goes down from Jerusalem to Gaza. This is a desert place. And he rose and went. And there was an Ethiopian, a eunuch, a court official of Candace, who was one of the empresses, queen of the Ethiopians, who was in charge of all of her treasures. He had come to Jerusalem to worship. We already talked about why he came to worship. And was returning seated in his chariot. And he was riding the prophet, and he was reading the prophet Isaiah. He was reading the Dead Sea Scrolls. He was reading the book of Isaiah. I had to go and set the foundation of how and why he would be reading the Dead Sea Scrolls. How and why he would be reading the Torah. How and why he would be reading the book of Isaiah in his chariot, riding heavy in his Rolls Royce. And the Spirit said to Philip, go over and join that chariot. So Philip ran to him and heard him reading Isaiah the prophet and asked, did you understand? Now remember, Philip didn't understand. He sees this black, well-dressed, appointed, sophisticated, royal servant. You understand me? If you're going to be in the presence of a queen of Candace, you got to be RTG, you got to be ready to go, you got to be groomed, you got to be trimmed, you got to be ready to brim. You dig what I'm saying? And the Spirit of the Lord said, he said, did you understand what you are reading? And he said, how can I, unless someone guides me? Okay. And he invited Philip to come up and sit with him. Now, the passages of the scripture that he was reading was this: like a sheep, he was led to the slaughter. A sheep, the one we talked about. The one we talked about. Like wool. The one whose skin looked like brass. Like a sheep, he was led to the slaughter. And like a lamb before the shearers is silent, so he opens not his mouth. When Jesus the Christ, the Son of the living God, was crucified, the only thing he said was, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Abba, 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 lamatani. In his humiliation, justice was denied him. Who can describe his generation? For his life is taken away from the earth. And the eunuch said to Philip, about whom, I ask you, does the prophet say this about himself or about someone else? Then Philip opened his mouth and beginning with the scripture, which he understands because he is from Ethiopia, who have never been colonized. See, this is what he said. See, here is water, what prevents me from being baptized. And he commanded the chariot to stop. And they both went down into the water, Philip and the eunuch, and he baptized him in the name of the Father, in the name of the Spirit, and in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Holy Spirit. And when they came up out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord carried Philip away, and the eunuch saw him no more and went his way rejoicing. But Philip found himself at Azotus. As he passed through, he preached the gospel to all the towns until he came to Caesarea. The gospel is the good news that because Jesus the Christ is the Son of the living God, we now have power through the Holy Spirit, which is what he talked to the eunuch about, which we talk about how it was arrived. Remember, this is way before a colonizer ever set foot on Africa. So when you ask me, how can I be a Nigerian, a Igbo? How can I be an African? How can I believe in Haile Selassie? How can I be a black man and be a woke Christian? because I also had an experience with Jesus myself. No, I ain't see him, but I got healed. People say, oh, when I was on that panel, people were like, oh, you come from money, your family. My family ain't gave me nothing. There is, like I said, on the panel, and if you missed it, I'm gonna try to. I don't know if I'm gonna upload it, but I wanna give you guys a link to go and watch the panel because it wasn't no joke. There's this saying that my uncle used to say. He says, "Nothing but your belly be your own," which means that the only thing you have is what you have. Only thing that you got is what you put in it, is what you put into yourself. I come from nothing. If it wasn't for the Lord, I would have killed myself a long time ago. If it wasn't for the Lord, I would be locked up. If it wasn't for my relationship with God, I would be broke, I would be busted, and I would be disgusted. If it wasn't for the renewing of my mind and getting truth, I would have been led astray. So when people ask me, so this is the reason why I can honestly say definitively, this is how I can say and know that I can be a woke Christian. If you learned something today that you did not know, I want you to say thank you. And if you didn't learn anything, and if you don't see my point of view, I want you to say you a fool. 3 words. Even if you're watching this on the replay, trolls, I'm gonna let you troll. So if you learned something you didn't know, I want you to say thank you. If you didn't, or if you think I'm wrong and all of this stuff is wrong, I want you to say you a fool. So I see a super chat. The super chat was, "Hey Dean, did we sign up for your course right?" All right, Jackie. When did you just do it, Jackie? I don't see a notification that came through. Oh wow, my bad. I was teaching. So Daryl Williams. Two orders just came through. Hold on, let me see. Yes, Jackie and Tyrone. Okay, so DNY is Tyrone. Okay, Tyrone. Let's see. Yes, you guys did the partnership program. You sure did, Jackie and Tyrone. I'm gonna send this to you in a moment. Okay, give me a moment. Now I'm going to sell Philly Jacks. You guys are going to have to send me. A message. Because you get 1 login automatically, but you have 2 because you have the partnership plan. So if you guys want to share the same devices, you can, or you can just have your own separate one. Let me know, and call the office tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday. Call the office, and you are in. I would assume you guys are in Philly with that name, so you're on East Coast. So call the office at no earlier than 9 your time, and let them know that you are on the live, that you all enrolled, and you can figure out which other email you want us to send the steps to go ahead and get the other username and password. You guys are enrolling into the course. I appreciate you. I wanted to just talk about this and not talk about business, but I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? This is live. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. No, you guys actually in California. You're in California. How are you in California? Okay, it's interesting. Okay, interesting. Name threw me off. You're in Cali. Okay, so if you're in Cali, then when you guys get up in the morning, 9 o'clock your time or whenever, by the time you get up, because we're East Coast. So by the time y'all get up, if y'all in Cali, then you'll be good to go. So let me go ahead and send this to you, Jackie. Give me a moment, guys. Like I said, my team is down. So I see. Yes, you did. Hold on for a moment. All right, I'm going to answer some questions. So if you guys have some questions, the first 5 questions I see, don't ask them yet. Wait till I'm done with this. And keep your questions on what we talked about, please. No business questions right now. Not because it's a Sunday. I don't care about that. As y'all can see, I'm doing business. I just want to stay on task. And I appreciate you guys so much. Hold on for one moment. All right, Jackie. You and Phil are good. There's another person that enrolled. Daryl enrolled. Hold on for one moment, Daryl. All right, Daryl. You should have yours in a moment too. All right, give me a moment. Don't ask any questions yet because I'm not going to see it. Wait till I'm done. Wait till I'm done. We're gonna do a temperature check to bring everything back in. And I'm gonna eat. And I'm tired. All right, guys. Tomorrow I'm debating Cynthia G. Tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be debating her tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to talk about what black men have done for the community. I'm going to talk about what I do. All right, let's get to the bottom of this. Wakanda forever, ever. Ethiopia is Wakanda. Yes, Mr. Moses, they did derive a lot of the things from Wakanda through Ethiopia. Yes, they did. Okay, so let's go ahead and go backwards. All right, so not yet. All right, so Wildine and Mumbi. All right. Dr. Mumbi. Is Dr. Mumbi watching? All right, hold on for a moment. All right, so you said you saw me on the panel. You might be Dr. Mumbi's husband in the future. That's why I say somebody said, wow, me and Dr. Mumbi. You're a trip. I don't think I'm old enough to date Dr. Mumbi. I got to ask my mama's permission to date Dr. Mumbi. I don't think I'm old enough. All right, so Canton says, thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Pierce C. Jones says, you did good. Thank you very much. All right. Charlotte says, thank you. All right. So, Mr. Moses says, thank you. And you need to enroll. All right. If you need to enroll, go ahead and do it. You see people are definitely, enrolling. All right. All right. So somebody says, no disrespect, family, but please read this book, The Historical Origin of Christianity by Walter Williams. Please read up. Please read up, family, please. Okay, I will read that just for the sake of reading it, but it doesn't take away the facts of what I just provided. I gave historical facts, not a book. The only person's book that I talked about, there's only 2 books I talked about that wasn't backed up by facts, which was Josephus, which is a historical book, not a satire. It wasn't an autobiography. It wasn't a. It was a historical book, Josephus. The Antiquities of the Jews, and the second was the Keeper Nagish. It doesn't change anything that I talked about when it comes to carbon-14 dating. It doesn't change everything that we talked about when we talk about the Dead Sea Scrolls. So if we're going to look at the opinion of somebody, and I didn't even get into King James. I didn't even get into none of that stuff. I'm talking about it being in Africa. All right. But yeah, I mean, if I have the opportunity to, I would read that. I absolutely will. Okay. All right. Big that really says, ooh, we praise God. Thank you so much for that. All right. So Gregory says, thank you. All right. So Charlotte says, I am not a fool. Thank you very much. All right. BNY, you say, because y'all be on the road, y'all OTR. Okay, y'all going out and go getting it. Y'all running teams. Okay, I understand. Tina Thomas says, I know that right. Dr. Mumbi and E.DeanCole would be a beautiful match. I told you I don't think I'm old enough to date Dr. Mumbi. I need to get my mother's permission. All right. You guys are in Fresno. Okay, that's good stuff. Somebody say choosing. All right. So how am I choosing? If they say that Dr. Mumbi and I will be good, how am I choosing because they heard me speak? How foolish is that? Y'all are so silly. Okay. Say what? It says, I knew. Oh, you knew I was chosen. Okay, when you said choosing, I'm thinking you talking about the pimp and they choosing. But you said chosen. That ing is supposed to be en. Okay, I apologize. You knew that I was chosen because you heard me speaking in a tone and you hear my spirit. Okay, good stuff. All right, amen. Sounds like Dean. Okay. Okay, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank yous. I should, somebody said I should preach every Sunday. I don't know about that, Patrick. What I think about Super Sly, Sharif. All right, so I'm going to answer 5 questions. This is the first question. The first one is by Sharif. Sharif says, what do I think about Super Sly? I think Super Sly is talented. I think that he is witty. I think that he is sharp. I think that he is misguided. I think he talks from a place of hurt. I think Super Sly can be very effective for the community because of his passion if he got healing. That's what I think about Super Sly. That's first question. Second question. Okay, you said that book is going to destroy people's psyche. Okay. All right, so the second question is, Mr. Moses says, Dean, you said that you were Solomon. Dr. Mumbi is modern day Makita. Like I said, I don't think I'm old enough to date her. Okay, so Cornelia says, do you prefer being religious or do you consider yourself spiritual? That's a very good question, Cornelius. I'm very glad you asked this. This is the third question. I am spiritual. I don't do nothing because religion tells me to. Religion is that gun. Religion forces people to do things. Remember, spirituality is my connection and my right standing with Jehovah God and righteousness. I don't believe in religion. Religion is here we go. Religion is the business of spirituality, the business end of it. You understand me? I think religion is, I don't believe in religion. I believe in spirituality. And I believe in the Holy Spirit, because every spirit ain't holy. Come on, somebody. But I believe in spiritual. I would not consider myself religious. Like, I have an interview where somebody says you're religion. I'm like, I'm not religion. Religion is you do stuff because of tradition. When you're spiritual, you do stuff because of relationship. Religion is tradition. Spirituality is relationship. I have a relationship with Jehovah God. I have a relationship with Jesus the Christ, the Son of the living God. I don't do nothing because my Bible tells me. I never once said my Bible said. No, I said truth and I said fact because of my relationship. I don't do nothing because the Bible said. No. Because what truth and fact is. It's a very good question. 2 more questions and I am going to let you guys go for the night. Second question is, all right, so Mr. Moses says, man, oh man, Dean is really, 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 really woke. That was an excellent response. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Yes. Hashtag MA says, spiritual comes from your soul when your eyes are open. That's absolutely correct. All right. Let's see. Any more questions? If you guys don't have any more questions, then we're good to go. Let's see. Let's look at our analytics. We got 75 thumbs up. We only had 80. Okay, we got 81 people watching and 83 thumbs up and 3 thumbs down. I'll take them hates. We good to go. All right, guys. So listen, that is it. I appreciate you guys so much. That was a wonderful Bible study. That's exactly what that was. That was a wonderful Bible study, ladies and gentlemen. So Thank you guys so much for watching. That was a super long transition. I got to figure out why my transitions are so long. But it's cool. It is what it is. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for commenting. Thank you so much for subscribing. And if you're watching on the replay and you watch this long and you was like, Dean, I wanted to participate, make sure you subscribe and you hit the notification bell. And if you like what I had to say, I want you to come and tell me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. It's Instagram.com/E.DeanCole. As you can see, we had 3 clients enroll into the course, and I'm sending stuff out. So I am connected to everything that goes on. I'm connected to my IG. I'm connected to my my business email. I'm connected to my personal email. I'm connected to my Facebook. So definitely reach out to me if I have the time. Okay, I will respond. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna always respond because I am a CEO in real life. But listen, guys, if you watch this on the replay and if you want me to do more teachings and want me to do more Bible study on specific things and just teach, I can do that. But this is part of my conscious commentary. Like this, if I do, I'll probably create a separate playlist dedicated specifically for that. I mainly talk about economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. Like we could talk about entrepreneurship in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about entrepreneurship in the Dead Sea Scrolls. You dig what I'm saying? We could talk about entrepreneurship in the Kibbutz Nagish. We could do all of that stuff now that I've set the precedents. But listen, the only person stopping you from being successful is you. The only person stopping you from being successful is you. If you don't know it, you can learn it. If you have not met them, you can meet them. If you do not have the character or the skill, you can develop it. Stay woke. Go get them because success is waiting for you. I'll see you guys next time.
Hey, social media socialites. Look, we are about to go live in a few moments. But before we go live, I need all of you guys